Good morning. Happy Thursday. Sorry, give me 2 more seconds. I didn't have enough time on the intro music to update the couple of things. My laptop was being too finicky. How's it going? Good morning, everybody. Headed to Micro Center. Oh, I wish we had a Micro Center. So jealous. So jealous. All right, I just have to add the thumbnail. I made a thumbnail, and I need to add it to this video. Let's find it if I can here. There we go. All right. How's everybody doing? Having a great day? Just barely getting started. How do I update? There it is. Dark mode get me screwed up a little bit. Whee! Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Now, save. Got it. Thumbnail updated, so good enough. Bang. There you go. Good afternoon in Spain. How's it going? 2 for 12. You made it twice, Fat Daddy. You made it twice. I really miss Fry's. I bought a few things at Fry's back in the day. I have not gone to an electronics store in a very mucho time. Mucho long time. Mucho. Desde España, hola. We need a Micro Center that looks like a hobbit hole. I know a guy that could consult them for that. I know a guy that knows how to make hobbit holes. How's it going, guys? Nick, what's up, buddy? 12C today in Canada. That seems warm. Is that not warm? I mean, it's not warm, but it's not like 0. 12C seems like a decent day to get outside, right? The talking time with internet people. Yay, John's here for talking time. Sitting at home assistant for nanny and grand. Oh, you're setting up home assistant for nanny and granddad. I think it's time. Mine is 23C. Now, that's what I would expect, Jason. That's a little more like what I would expect. Good evening, Stephen. I sure wish I could travel the world and wouldn't it be fun to go see all you guys? That would be so great. Hey, helicopter pilot, how's it going? Let's do. Would you like unicorns or planes? So unicorns or planes. Is this a good time for you, Alexander? Thank goodness. I do like doing streams at different times. It's been nice. It's been quite nice. Something we might have to do more often. The Sunday thing is great because it's consistent-ish, but streaming at different times like this in the morning, for me, this is morning, or even in the evenings is nice. It's just nice to get a little bit of a change. So we are going to do today number 7 of the 12 streams of Christmas. And the topic we have chosen is the deep dive into wLED settings. What do you think of that? What do you think? Are there some settings or some things that you want to learn how to do in wLED that have had you stumped? If you are in that situation looking for some specific instructions on how to make this or that happen in wLED, let me know. Let me know now. I've got, I went through the settings again. I went through the notes again, been playing with the beta, and I got some things I think would be useful, or at least that would qualify as advanced or deep dive. So we're going to talk about those things. But I definitely want to make sure to cover anything that anybody's having specific trouble with or confusion about. Learning LED and X lights. That's tomorrow, Rafa. We can maybe get a little started on that. Maybe towards the end tonight today we'll get X lights installed and get that part going. I got to turn this off right now. This is in my eyeballs. My eyes are bad this morning. Holiday mode. Aha! Derek's holiday mode. Okay, so first thing we should talk about, I think, is what we're going to use. We're going to use the newest beta version. And this one actually, so I've got here sitting on my desk, I've got two controllers. I've called one top because in the desk camera, it's on top. And one that's called bottom because it's on the bottom. These are just a couple of the old Pixel Pros I had sitting around, version, I don't even know what, 3 or something maybe. So we'll use those today to kind of test some things out. And right off the bat, this one, let's see, is it not the 101, the 105? This one here needs an update. So this is not a hard thing. It's not really advanced, but I think it's something we need to do. So let's go in here and do an update. Manual OTA update. There we go. We're going to update to this latest release. You know, if you click that, it goes there. I've already got it downloaded, so I don't need to download it again. Choose file. It kills me sometimes to still see people that people want to update these with a USB or something, and that's fine. You can do it, but it's so easy to do it this way. It just makes it so easy. I feel like why struggle? Why introduce a couple of extra potential points of failure with drivers or with USB cables and such if you can do it this way? It is fun, and I think one thing we might do today would be to flash with the version 2 with the new what are they calling it? ESP Web Tools stuff, right? Because I would like to, just for kicks, I want to put in commands at the console that they gave us. So, all right, we're going to update from beta version 5 to beta version 6. Okay, no big deal. When does shipping go out for Permatrack? Everything should be gone sometime today. The last of it should be gone sometime today, Jesse. We got a bunch of the local pickup orders filled first. It was kind of tricky because we wanted to. It's taking longer than usual, of course. Everything takes longer than usual, or longer than expected, or longer than we hoped. We got the track in, what day last week? Like Thursday. Unpacked it and all, and then started posting it for sale on Friday. But I was out of town, right? I was at the Hobbit House Friday, Saturday, Sunday. RGB Mike, who usually fills most of the orders, he's been out of town until yesterday. His son was helping us do some order filling. I was doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I did some order filling where I went and picked up and got some stuff out to people. But the majority of Mike got home yesterday. So yesterday and today, it's all going out. So everything should go out the next day or two. And it goes out UPS. So hopefully 3 days and it should be there. Okay. Hopefully. 89,000 nuts. I need a nut store. The stork has arrived. Got my first Uno and quad this morning. Yes. And that was a good time too. Boy, we had, we filled, it's been over 1,000 orders. And if, to put it in perspective, I think I've said it a couple times, a busy day for us in the past has been 100 orders. A normal day is like 30 to 50 orders. And in one day we got like 700. And then through the rest of the weekend, we got several more hundred. And we filled them all like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and they're all out. The post office guy, because he picks them up at the house, and we've been putting them out in like huge trash bags full of Unos and quads. And he's been picking them up. And yesterday he's like, wow, you guys have been busy. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. You're welcome, Cerebral Dad. Is there any performance reliability difference between wLED and ES Pixel Stick firmware, Daniel says? That's a good question. I haven't played with ES Pixel Stick now in at least a year. I know that ES Pixel Stick has the option to do some SD card functionality. So if you're using X-Lights, and if all you're going to do is use X-Lights, then there's that advantage right now for ES Pixel Stick. That you can save your sequence information, I guess, on the device. But if you're using an Uno or a quad right now, that doesn't really help you because they don't have an SD card slot. But as far as reliability, I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah, thank goodness they didn't go out on garbage day, right? So why is my thing not coming back up here? What do you think? Did it not say it was working? Interessante. I probably messed it up a little bit. All right. One thing to mention. Oh, let's open up my notes. I did make some notes. Let's get into some wLED setting stuff. So I made some notes about what the. Oh wow! All of a sudden, it's gone. That's fantastic. It's like one of my favorite things. Yeah, now it says it's offline. Sweet. Probably because it's, we'll give it time. 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 Deep dive. wLED deep dive. But I didn't just cause us a whole bunch of headache by screwing up that one that probably didn't need to be updated. Okay, here is some of the stuff we can look at as far as new features. So this is about the stuff that's now going to be available as part of wLED 13, which should be out soon, but certainly the beta is out now, so you can use the beta, and it's on the 6th version of the beta. So that is good. You can grab the 6th version. I highlighted a few of the things here that I thought were the most important. I'm going to double highlight them. Oh, that's not a very good color. Oh, it's because I'm in dark mode. Oh, dark mode. Oh, dark mode. Whatever. All right. One of the things we're going to talk about is playlists. We're going to talk about playlists. I know Sir Goodenough was saying, oh, what the heck? Playlists are screwing me up. I think I figured out how to make them work, and I think they're pretty cool. So let's talk about playlists. There's a few other things here. We can just kind of go through the list. I highlighted the things I thought were most important. Location-based sunset and sunrise timers. That's pretty cool. So you put your longitude and latitude in, and in the macros section, you get a new couple of rows where you can put in a preset to start or a playlist, and it will start and stop at sunrise, sunset kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. User mods. I don't know what we can do yet with user mods. That might be fun to look at if we end up with extra time. Multi-button and switch support. I think that's pretty cool. So we'll look at that a little bit. Segments, offsetting. I remember that. Yep, I looked at that. We'll look at that a little bit because we'll look at grouping and what are they calling it? Grouping and I can't remember what else it's called. Grouping. It's in segments and it's grouping and spacing. Maybe it's grouping and spacing. Yeah, grouping and spacing. Okay, and offset kind of goes along with that. All right. WebSocket stuff. Okay. Segment names. This is important because it's nice to have your segments named. Like if you have a segment of your strip that goes around the window, you can say window. And then the next segment is a roof peak. You can say roof peak. You could name them that instead of just like, which one's number 1, which one's number 2. So we'll look at that. Sync groups. I think this is important and I want to play around with this. That's why I put these 2 controllers here on my desk, because I want to play with sync groups and see if we can make sure that I understand how they work. We understand how they work. So different groups to sync effects rather than fiddling with ports, which is nice because it used to be you had to change the ports. Well, it used to be 1 port and then there was 2 ports and now there's these groups. So we're going to try that. This should be pretty easy. Hopefully it'll work good. Max number of segments is 16 or 32 on the ESP32. Please test. Okay, we'll do that. Improve some effects, 15 palettes, CSS skinning. So we could talk about this and custom holiday background feature. We can talk about this. I'm not going to be very good at this because I'm not going to be very good at CSS, but we'll talk about what it is and how it works. Virtual network buses, stream effects. I don't know. I don't understand that part. Auto segment logic. Not sure what that means, except maybe that's the part where you do the segments, you change or you have the setting at the top for how many total LEDs and it does some adjusting. I think maybe that's it. Improv support. So this is cool. This was the thing we talked about with the web-based ESP tools. So we'll talk about this, and this will have some of the commands and things you can put in at when you still have it connected to USB. So if you do flash something on your own, you can go ahead and put your Wi-Fi information in before you even disconnect it from the USB port. So that's super cool. Okay, a couple of little things, but that's the most of it. So a couple of these first highlight things. All right, so playlist editor on the web UI. Let's go talk about the playlist editor. This thing's got me. Oh, there it goes. It's back. See, it's back. It just takes time. Yeah, now we're on beta. All right, so let's talk about the playlist editor, shall we? CSS, it's a nightmare. In sync. I'm using 4 Unos to run lights on my house. They run based off the timer in the time and macros area. I'm using all the slots with presets. Can I still use the transition to use more presets? Can you use the transition to use more presets? You can use the playlist to use more presets. Because I think what you're doing, Rich, it sounds like, is you've got your timer page. You've got your timer page down here, and you've got like at 5:30 p.m. play preset 1, at 6 p.m. play preset 2, at 7 p.m. play preset 3, right? Is that what you're doing? Because if that's the case, then boy, have we got the right answer for you, because we're going to do playlists. So first thing we got to do is we're going to do some presets here. We're just going to make some crazy ones, and we're just going to do I don't like having that white though. Let's have blue. That's better. All right. We're going to create a preset. This is just a blue blink. I'm just going to give us maybe 4 or 5 of these blue blink, and we're just going to save a new preset. Big deal. No big deal. Okay. We'll do colorful. That's a fun one. Okay. Create a playlist. Yep. And this is kind of, there we go. Okay. Colorful. Okay. Save that one. And let's do, fairy. This one's new. That's kind of cool. Brightness is already so low on these. Okay, we'll do Fairy Winkle. Oh, that's fun. And then let's do it with a different palette. Here you can't see this, right? But that's kind of fun. Okay, Fairy Winkle. Great preset, Fairy Winkle. I have a problem seeing those T's. It probably says twinkle. Yeah, see, it says very twinkle, and I just say Fairy Winkle. Meh. Fairy Winkle. Okay, save preset. All right, so now we've got 4 presets. Okay, boom, 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 whatever. 4 presets. Doesn't really matter. Don't order the quad during Christmas rush from the international store. Stuck at custom for a week now. Dang. Sorry, Entertan. Periwinkle? Boy, it's just like, it's kind of a matter of don't order anything at Christmas, but boy, what are we going to do? Looking for pin wiring diagram VSP3. Which one of your how-to videos covers it? Thanks. Fat Eddie. You want for the Quinn LED ESP32? Just look at Quindor's website. Quindor's got a link for you, I'm sure. All right, so creating a playlist. Here's how it's going to go. This is how it works. Create playlist. We'll give it a name. Whatever. We'll call it December Nights. All right, we're gonna pretend like we're gonna set this up to play December, at night. Okay, great. Playlist entries. So the first one, what this will list here is everything that you've got down as your presets. Okay, so whatever presets you have will be in this drop-down menu. So we're gonna start it with colorful. That'll be the first one, and we're gonna do this in a way that you would do it if it was out on your house, right? So let's say you're gonna go a half an hour at a time. So how many seconds are in a half an hour? I'll wait. You can tell me. How many seconds are in a half an hour? Yeah, it's not Color Twinkle. It's Color Winkle. I'm going to petition Christian to change it for me. What was your question, Daniel, while we're waiting? Hi, does the LED controller only work with addressable LEDs, or can it work with regular color changing strip? If it's an analog strip, which is probably what you mean, like if all of the LEDs are the same color, if you look at the wires and it has a plus and then RGB on the label of the connection, or 4 wires and they're red, blue, green, and then usually I think it's a black, then it won't work. These controllers are for the Unos and the quads and WLED, I don't know about that, but at least the Unos and the quads, they're set up to run digital LEDs, individually addressable LEDs, not analog LEDs. And I think what you're talking about is analog LEDs. Okay? All right. So thank you very much. 1800 is how many seconds we have in 30 minutes. So this will run for 30 minutes, and then it will transition over 0.7 seconds. We could transition it over 5 seconds or something like that. And we don't want this. Well, these settings, everything below the line has to do with the playlist as a whole. What we're doing up here at the top, especially in this playlist entries, is just adding which presets you want. Okay. So that's number 1 preset, colorful. Now we're going to hit the plus and we're going to put in another one. So after this 30 minutes, we're going to have it play blue blink for another 30 minutes. And then the transition over 4 seconds. And we're going to add another one. For the next 30 minutes, we'll have it do sparkle. Great. And for the next 30 minutes, well, actually, let's have sparkle run for an hour. That's maybe our favorite. We'll have that one run for an hour. And then our last one, what's left? Fairywinkle. I even spelled it Fairywinkle. Can we use number that fit in a live stream demo? Oh yeah, I'll go backseated. Yeah. I'll do that. I'm just doing this as what you would actually do probably in your normal whatever. But yes, we'll do I've got another controller. We'll run through this real quick, or we'll go back and change these and make them like 5 seconds, and then we'll watch it change. Okay. All right. So there you go. So we've got colorful running for 30 minutes, blue blink running for 30 minutes, sparkle running for an hour, and fairywinkle running for 30 minutes. If you keep repeat indefinitely on, when this is over, it will just start over again. Start over again. Start over again. I don't know what happens if you take that off. I don't know if that means it. Oh, end preset. Here you go. End preset. You can have it end on a specific preset, or you can just, I guess, have it be none, in which case it would probably turn off. I don't know. We're going to find out. All right. And you can test it. We'll do that when this is a little bit slower. It'll give it an ID number based on your presets, the number of presets you already have. This will basically show up like a preset, but it'll have this little symbol. So we're going to save it. Save the playlist. Done. So now we've got this playlist, December Nights. Now what you can do here, taking a second, loading preset, December Nights. Actually probably already is playing. It's doing the color winkle thing. But now what you can do, so going back to, who was it that was asking? Who was it? Somebody, John? Was it John? Rich? No? I can't remember who it was. Anyways, somebody was saying, what do you do when you run out of your macro lines down here? So what you can do down here is now say, let's turn off a bunch of these. Oh, let's use the sunrise one. You can go down here and say, well, at sunset, plus 10 minutes after sunset. Okay, so sunset plus 10 minutes. Play preset number 5. Remember, preset number 5 is my playlist. So now at sunset plus 10 minutes, it will start that playlist. John's like, I didn't do it, not me. Can't prove anything, nobody saw me. All right. So there you go. That's what you can do. And it will then now run through those effects. So whatever those presets were, however you like them, it'll run through those effects for that duration for each one, and you only used one of your macro slots. Sweet, huh? Sweet. Alex, you're as hardcore. You're as hardcore as any one of us, brother. Always. Yeah. How's it going, William? All right, let's go back now. Let's go back and let's do this in a way that we can watch it. So let's do another thing. Let's do another thing. Let me go back here to this one. Oh, this one already has a bunch of stuff in it. I want to get rid of all these. I don't even know what a lot of these are. Oh, maybe it's okay. This one. Yeah, this one was. I had used this one already for something else, so this one's a little bit different. Don't want that. Ooh. Oh yeah, and this RGB color is messed up on this one. Forgive me while I make this second controller actually behave. Okay, that's better. All Okay. Let's do another playlist again real quick here, okay? Segments and X lights. We're going to work on doing that tomorrow. So let's call this one, let's say this, we want something to play in July. Okay, I don't know. Playlist entries. We're going to play Independence Day. And now we're going to do it like in a time that we can watch. So we'll do 10 seconds of Independence Day. All right. We're going to do, the next one we'll do, sure, we'll do Valentine's Day for 10 seconds. We're going to do then St. Patrick's Day for 10 seconds. And we'll do one more. That'll be, I don't even know what some of these are, so we'll just pick number 7. Okay. Now let's watch it. Let's do the test. We're going to test it and see if it does what we want. Here, let's turn this other one off so it's not distracting us. Test. Okay, so it's doing this one, this red, white, and blue one, which is hard to tell, but that's red, white, and blue. It's going to do it for 10 seconds, and then it's going to switch. Now it's doing Valentine's Day. Do that for 10 seconds, and then it's going to do whatever, or it'll do St. Patrick's Day. So it's going to turn green here in a second. There you go. It's green, and it's kind of pulsing. Very nice. Very nice. And then it'll do preset number 7, which is who knows what. Okay, looks like it's some kind of a fiery, flickery thing. And then, at the end of this, we'll see if it turns off. I hope it will turn off. But it may just keep playing this last preset forever. I don't know. We'll find out very soon. I think it should have turned off by now, don't you? Yeah, it's been more than 10 seconds. So it looks like if you don't put it on shuffle, and if you set your end preset to none, it will just stay on that last preset. Okay. So what we can do, failed connection to lights, sweet. What we can do though is add another preset, and in this case, I have a preset that is set to off. And it'll be off. You can actually look at that. You could turn it off for, say, let's turn it off for 5 seconds and then have it repeat indefinitely. Okay, so here we go again. Red, white, and blue for 10. Valentine's Day for 10. St. Patrick's Day for 10. Whatever that other thing was for 10. And then off for 5. And then start over again. Yeah, it looks like if you just, in version 13, I get a lot of connection to light errors. I was just reading about that, Barry, and I think what he said it is, especially if you're doing a lot of writing of new presets or making changes like this, it's got something to do with the memory and how the ESP32 or how the fast LED library writes to the memory or something like that. Okay, so now it's off. And then after 5 seconds, it should come back on. Cross your fingers. It's a long 5 seconds. I don't think it's coming back on. Yeah, that's not coming back on. Maybe it's changing the presets and it's not doing the off part. Interesting. Maybe I have to turn it back on. That would be silly. Yeah, it's definitely not turning back on. All right, well, if you take that out and do repeat indefinitely, now it's not gonna do the off, it's just gonna go back to the beginning. I need an on preset. You don't turn it off. Yeah, fail button. I was hoping it would turn off and then turn back on, but I guess it won't, looks like. But the idea of playlist, you get the idea of playlist, right? And now it's going to go back to the beginning once it's done with this one. And it will repeat until whatever. At least it didn't explode. There it goes, back to the beginning. Maybe test doesn't honor repeat. Oh, it does. Yeah, it does, just because we just saw it. I think it is once you toggle it off like I did, you have to turn it back on. Pray for the Philippines. Uh-oh, what's going on in the Philippines? Okay. Okay. Sweet. What other questions about playlists do you have? Playlists, when you have playlists in your thing over here, and it's actually going to just keep going now. We need to stop it. So playlists show up with this little symbol here. So that's how you can tell a playlist from just another preset. All right. Playlists have this little guy. Presets do not. That's really cool. Oh no. Super hurricane. Oh, bummer. Man. All right. Related to the presets and timer, in order to turn off the lights at night, I have a preset I use for off, making the lights solid and color to black. Is this the right way to do it or turns off? I would do it differently. So what I use for the off preset, you go in here, to make a new preset, I like to call this preset off, maybe even in capital letters. Uncheck the box that says use current state, because use current state will then set your preset to whatever you've got set out here. Now you could do like what you did and say, oh, I'm going to set it to black, or turn the brightness down or something like that, or solid, whatever. But you don't have to do that. You just unselect use current state, and then you do capital T equals 0. And that is a command that turns off the lights. That's it. You can do another command, make another preset that is on. And I think that this will eventually become a part of it. I mean, it's pretty simple to include something like this. So I would expect that eventually we'll have an on and an off preset. I think a lot of people, when they're setting their macros, I've seen this, a lot of people when they're setting their macros, they think that if they set it to preset 0, it will turn it off. It does not. That's not what it does. That's not what it does. But now that I have a preset that is the off preset, it's number 6 for me. Now if I go in here and set this to 6, now that one has to be active and the time has to be right on it. But because now that's preset 6, now it will turn it off. Okay. Hello, Mark. How's it going? All right. What else was on my list? Let's find my list. Location-based sunrise and sunset timers. That's kind of cool. When you go into the config, you go into time and macros. And now you've got a longitude and latitude here. It only takes 2 decimal points. So how many of you guys know your longitude and latitude? I don't know all of mine, but it's something like that. It's right around there somewhere. Off might turn off the power supply if you have it set up with a relay. Yeah, it should actually. It should actually. I think you're right. 4Tracks, I think it would. Am I checking my list twice? Okay. So sunrise and sunset is just based on that, based on the longitude and latitude, support for custom user mods. If you guys, anybody knows anything about custom user mods, let me know. I don't know anything about custom user mods. I need to look it up. Multi-button and switch support. Let's look at that. That's kind of cool. I think that's in time and macros. Yes, here it is. So you can now have, looks like 4 different buttons set up. Been busy streaming on Twitch. Just brought them over to see what you're doing. Oh, how's it going, Mark? Thanks for being here. Connected wLED to my Twitch. Awesome. I need to do that. You gotta show me how to do that. Winery by my house called North 42 because we're on the 42nd parallel in the Northern Hemisphere. Awesome. I guess I'm on the 44th, I'm pretty sure. A screenshot of my screen with no PC mode in live chat. I don't have PC mode on Linux. Oh. Seattle, thanks for subscribing or something. All right, let's see. So we can do... I wonder if this is the short, long, double. Button actions. Let's look this up. Let's go here. Let's go to features. Let's go to multi-strip macros. Where is the, oh, advanced. Wiring, remote, custom features, recovery mapping. I thought I saw something about the buttons in here. Features. I thought that. Segment settings. Anybody know where it is? It might not be in here. I did notice, and I can't blame AirCookie or anybody else. This is a very nice, very thorough wiki kind of page, this knowledge page, but it's not up to date for the beta stuff. And that might be why the beta's not done yet. Without PC mode, how do you set your presets? Oh, good question. Great question. If you turn off it's over here. So you go in, you'd go into colors and effects separately. Maybe turn them on and look at them so you got your peak and you can see what they're doing. Make sure you're happy with what they're doing. And once you're happy with what they're doing, then you go into presets and create a new preset and let it set to what that is. Oh shoot, I just closed that. I hope I didn't need it, whatever it was. There's something about interfaces, maybe. Yeah, interfaces. Maybe this is it. Oh, nope. Dang. What I want to know is probably what happens. Okay, so you can set up several buttons. I'm guessing that what you're putting in here is a preset that you want it to run when you do different things, right? So when you short press button 0, command or preset number 1 happens. When you long press button 0, preset number 2 happens. When you double press, preset number 3 happens. Kind of like that. And then you can, this is important, and this is something we should do as part of this deep dive. These control commands, these are mucho importante. So let's take a minute to talk about these because these are very important. When I said T equals 0 to turn it off, that comes from here. And there are a bunch of things that you can do that way. And anything that is here as a command, you can type in yourself in the presets box. So if you go to create a preset, take off this custom, now you can do an API command. You can go through here and program it yourself. Okay. So you can say, let's see, I want to, you don't usually have to turn them on, but you can turn it on first. You can start with T equals 1. And that will turn them on. I don't know that you always have to do that because I think it kind of comes on automatically. Then you do the and symbol because we're going to add another command after that. So after that, we're going to set the, well, let's set the effect. That makes sense. Where it's SX, I think. Effect speed, no, it's S. Effect index. Oh, maybe this is the effect. FX, yeah. So this will set the effect. So now we can do FX equals, and then each of these has a number. So you have to go back to the presets page, I guess, and pick your effects. Pick the number of the effect you want. Say you want it to do 15. Okay, effect number 15. So we want it to do effect number 15. Okay, and then we're going to do and again. Oops. Because we're going to put some more in there. We want to change the speed. So SX equals something to change the speed. This SX equals, we'll make it fast. I think it's, let's look and see what it says. It gives us the parameters. So it's 0 to 255. So we'll say we want it to go super fast. So we'll go 250. Okay. All right. Then we'll set a palette. So FP to set a palette. Oh, we need the and. Sorry, got to have an and in between them. And then FP equals like that. Okay. And let's go back to presets, basics. Oh, shoot. Not basics. Features. Effects and palettes. Now we're going to go down here to the palettes. And we're going to pick a colorful palette. And I guess it does, see, so like the documentation, that page said it goes to 101 different effects. There's actually now 117. When we started, it was like 80. Random cycle. That's a nice one, but it's number 1. Let's do something that's a little more. Let's do number 12. Okay, number 12. FP equals 12. All right. So I don't know, whatever. We'll give this a name. We'll just call it Goober. Goober. All right. And that's it. We're going to save that preset. Preset number 8. So now if we look at our lights, we hit this. That's our preset running. So you can just type all that stuff in yourself. So now back to what we were talking about was how to use the multi buttons, right? So let's say on a short press, you want it to just toggle. I think that's probably a smart thing on the short press to have it toggle. I don't have access to any of that stuff without PC mode, programmable presets, or playlists. What? Are you on the right version? Sure good enough? Because it's all there. It's under presets. All PC mode does, what PC mode does is it takes these 4 tabs at the bottom and it puts them all on one page. So all of the functionality shouldn't change. Yeah, so you have this presets tab. You should be able to do this on the app too. All right. So what I was going to say is if you had a preset that was a toggle. So T equals 2 is just toggle, right? Look in the live chat at my screen. Okay. Live chat. I see a lot of other things. Christmas trees. What's happening? Oh, that's support. Sorry, live stream. Yeah, hit the presets button down in the lower right corner. Presets tab. What happens when you hit the presets tab? Post a picture of that. Well, my point for going through some of this about these buttons is you could, especially with the ESP32s the way they are, and even with the Unos and Quads, you get a lot of extra pins. You have a lot of extra pins available. You can connect extra buttons to each of those. So if you wanted to have something that had like 4 different buttons on it, you could do that. You set up 4 different buttons. You would have to go, I think, back to the user interface. I think it would be back at the user interface that you would have to set those buttons. right? So is it user interface? Oh, wow, we got to talk about that. LED preferences. Yeah. So here's where you set which GPIO pin your buttons are set to. All right. So button 0, you can set it to GPIO 0. And how does it function? All right. What is it? Is it a push button, switch, PIR sensor, touch, whatever. Okay. One other interesting thing real quick. Yeah, there you go. Now hit create preset. And then in the create preset, if you uncheck the box that says use current settings, then you'll have the place where you can put in the API commands. Last thing I'll say about buttons, and then we got to talk about CSS. As I was reading through the notes here on the knowledge page, it talks about having an analog, like an automatic analog functionality that does the brightness. So if you go to, where were we again? Time and macros, analog button setup. Oh, good. This gives you, yeah, this tells you what you can do. No, this is contributing to knowledge by making improvements. Thank you. That's not what we wanted to do. I thought that was going to give us, I thought that was going to do something else. So there's an analog pin, right? There's an AO pin on the Unos or on the ESP32 or 8266, I think even. wLED is already set up so that if you put a potentiometer, a dial on that pin, you have to have like voltage going in and ground, and then the output would be going to the AO pin. Okay. It will automatically, it's already set up to dial in brightness. So some of these functions are really cool, these button functions, because not everybody is going to grab the app. I see a lot of people want to put lights like under their cabinets or their shelves or something in their kitchens. And, you know, some of our family members are not going to get out their app to turn up or turn down or change the color of those lights in the cabinets or at the shelves. With these button functions, you can, you know, make a little box, put a little potentiometer in there, little dial, right? Put a couple of buttons in there, and you can set those buttons so one of them turns them on and off, or a long press turns it on and off, short pressed, whatever. If you're doing, you want to change different presets, maybe you can have one button that just makes them white, one button that runs them through some playlist. So you can have these different buttons that do different things, and you can have a brightness dial. So you can, right there, without getting the app out, you can dial up the brightness, dial down the brightness, set a preset, turn it on, turn it off. My wife's always pushing my buttons. I seem to be pushing her buttons more often, is the case around here. But you see what I mean? You made your wife get the app? Yeah. So this is for all of the non-app users. So that's pretty cool, right? That is pretty cool. So buttons are a must. She is so hard-headed. Well, it's great that Air Cookie has thought of that. I don't think he has a wife, but he must be in tune with what other non-app users need. All right. Now, let's talk about this CSS stuff for a minute, okay? And I'm not good at this. I can't write a CSS file. I probably could to save my life. You know, I'm not going to say I can't do it to save my life. I could probably do it if it really meant somebody's going to take my life if I didn't. I'm married to wLED. That's right. Wife is the university. That's right, Phil. He's married to wLED and his wife is the university. So let's look at this. Let's look at some of this, what can go on with the CSS stuff. Now, I tried to find sitemap. Oh, good. This is the sitemap of the module server. Access ESP path /settings. Okay, so here we can see some things. This is how you, if you really want to get under the hood on wLED, this is where you can find a lot of it. Somebody told me there was one called List of Spiffs. Joke page? Wait a minute, what? Oh, come on. What? Oh. Oh, version 0.6.2 only. It's not on the newer versions at all. Fine. He's got the teapot there, though. Well, what I wanted to look at here was the UI settings page. This is interesting. I have not played with this before, but there's a whole lot of things you can do after this. See, none of them are found. Maybe they're not all there. Since version. Add update. It's not settings / is it? Maybe it is. Oh yeah. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, that gets to that page. Let's see. I'm just playing around here. Aha. So you can get a lot of this information. Okay. I was actually in the wLED chat yesterday asking some specific things about this. And they told me what to do some of this use data / index CSS as a reference. Okay, so in the newer version, in this version 13, oh, what? It's not there? Dang it. Inside the wLED 00 folder. Upload CSS skin to override the defaults. Okay, try this. Use /edit to create an empty CSS, then paste the above code. All right. Well, we go here to edit. This is not something I know how to do clearly. We're going to create. We'll create a file. We're going to call the file skin.css. Oh, it's not letting me. Paste this in there. I want to let me name it. Thought I could create a file here. Doesn't look like I can. Dang. Give me a name. Now I screwed it up pretty good. Shoot! Part of HTTP spec says HTTP 14, a teapot client error response code indicates that the server refuses to brew coffee because it is permanently a teapot. You were looking under removed? Oh, whoops. When is the Uno's back in stock? Well, what I can tell you is I have a few left over. I think I still have some of the Ethernet versions, but I am going to go back and look at, I'm going to make sure and count, and I will have a few left, but there won't be very many. Button add-ons for the DrZzs. Yeah, right? Be a great idea. Dang, I really want this to get this to working. So the reason that I was even caring about this is because is it user interfaces? Yeah. Down here, you've got custom CSS and holidays. So enable custom holidays list. These are CSS files. So you can upload, I guess, whatever you can change with CSS. So fonts, colors, I don't know. That's the part where I would fail miserably because I can't do that. And that's what I was trying to do, is I was trying to get an example. And this is some of the stuff that the guys in the wLED chat were telling me yesterday that you could do. But I didn't really have time to give it a shot. So I thought, well, let's do it live. Yeah, not so much. Sound file to play. I'm a little teapot when it gets that error. So yeah, I had asked, what does the holiday list do? Because I thought maybe it would just be the background. And I guess it can be background if that's part of what you can put into the CSS file is a specific background. But you can, whatever, change fonts and stuff, change, I don't know, background color. So do you guys know? I mean, does anybody out there know how to do these things? Maybe this is too advanced. Does anybody care enough to try and do some of these? Bring, bring. Gavin, thanks for subscribing. Do you like unicorns or planes? So unicorns or planes. How about unicorns? Portable light tube type device with wLED WS2812 battery operated. Would that work? Absolutely would work at 8-bit Ed. It would work. It probably wouldn't last for very long. What I would recommend, if I was going to do that, I would get like a battery pack, like a 5-volt phone charger battery pack, and that would work. It wouldn't last very long, but it would work. It would work. If you figure out so you buy one of those battery packs, right? And say it's I don't know, whatever they are. I don't even know how big they are anymore. 5,000 milliamp hour battery pack or something. Then you figure out your number of LEDs, multiply by, say, 0.02 amps or 2 milliamps. And that would give you, an idea, or could give you an idea of how long it would last. It would last a few hours, maybe, something like that. I want to display custom text on an LED strip or matrix. Any help with wLED? wLED doesn't do custom text on a matrix. If you want to do custom text on a matrix, X-Lights can do that, or I would say the other one to use, and maybe we need to play with this, might be one of our 12 streams of Christmas as we're getting towards the end here, is that Jinx. Jinx Matrix software. Is this it? Yeah. I haven't downloaded this in a while, but this is a matrix management software, and I'm pretty sure you can put text in there. And this runs on your PC, and then it will output to your LED controller. So if you have a Diduno or whatever running wLED on a matrix, this will output to the matrix whatever you put in here for the matrix, right? So this would be where you could do that. wLED, I don't think does that. I don't right now. Maybe there will come a time where the sound reactive matrix version of wLED would do that, but right now I don't think it does. Does wLED do images? You could have an image that is dynamically generated with a script, and wLED could load it. I don't think it can do that either, William, but I think this will. You think ESP Home can work well with an LED matrix? That's cool. I have not played with wLED or ESP Home in a matrix. Isn't that cool, right? Some of these, because of the E131, the protocol to communicate with these LED controllers, you got a lot of these other kinds of things. X-Lights, Jinx. What was the other one? LED FX, I think, was one. So, all in one, LED can do anything. This isn't too bad. This isn't too bad of an option. You might want to check this one out. A few hours would be fine. So I'll hustle to write a simple CSS as a... Who's going to do that? Who's somebody going to write that? Okay. Hi. There, anyways, I can address a particular pixel specific color with a string. Oh, I know what I was going to do. And then Peter, somebody did say use segments, and that's right. I would also love a tutorial on custom CSS because I don't know how to do it either. For web designers and developers, not super simple. I usually use CSS frameworks. Is CSS frameworks, is that a software, William? What is that? CSS frameworks. So somewhere in here, if we could find this index file, so it's got to have one, right? wLED already has a CSS file that it is using, and this is where it is. I just can't. I don't know what inside wLED 00 folder. I don't know what that means. How do I access the whole tree here? No. This is what happens when you don't. This is if you're going to compile it, do things differently by compiling it, creating your own custom effects. So this is pretty neat. But mapping, oh, I already looked at this one. How do we do it? Slash edit LED JSON. Nope. But this might be, so somebody was asking about doing a specific LED. You could do something like this, but this is going to be pretty complicated. Sending you a link to a nice wLED project. Made a DIY nanoleaf. Oh, awesome. Does Jinx run on a Pi? I think it runs on your PC. What did I do? Did I lose it? Oh, here it is. Downloads. User manual. I think it's Windows. It's a zip file. It may be a Java thing. I don't know for sure. Frequently asked questions. IP-based camera to capture webcams. AVI files won't play on Jinx. Huh. Worst part is, did you know, is way too costly for me to work on. I can only work on ESP32 or ESP8266. Anthony, you can piece together the major parts of the Uno and quads. I mean, the most important thing is the ESP32 or 8266. What is it you're trying to do? I've done the same, and I absolutely love it. What did you do? Sending you a link. A nice. Oh. Where did you send it? Did you send it in Discord? Oh yeah. Let's pull over here just. Oh, cool. 14 triangles, each containing 18 single addressable LEDs. Triangles will be controlled 8266 LED flashed on it. Currently midway through soldering process. Awesome. Triangles printed on your Ender 3 version 2. Awesome. Already thinking about version 2. We're going to custom PCB LEDs PCB itself. Oh, awesome. That's cool, man. I love it. Very cool. All right. Let's look at my list of features. So we kind of, I guess all we're doing there with this whole CSS thing is basically answering the question of what can you do with this new option here of, no, it's not there. It is user interface. So down here, if you are a CSS master, Anthony, not Anthony, so sorry. Yes, it is Anthony. I see that. My eyes, they put in H's and they take out T's, right? It's color winkle instead of color twinkle. It's Anthony instead of Antony. It's dyslexia, can I say? Yeah, Jinx is a Windows binary. Yeah. I kind of remember having a hard time getting it running. How is the Wi-Fi reception on the Ethernet? Did you know? Good question, Gavin. I need to run a test with that. I have not run a test with that because I know that when you have the Ethernet version of the ESP32, so it has the Ethernet hat on top. If you don't plug in the Ethernet, it'll still do the Wi-Fi access point. You can connect to it and use it through Wi-Fi. It should work just as well as Wi-Fi on a regular ESP32. You can remove the top part. Let's see if I can. Do I even have one handy? I guess maybe I don't even have one handy. So if the only option we have is these, you can just take this part off. And now you have just the regular Wi-Fi ESP32, and it should function exactly the same. I'm a little suspicious that if you leave this on here, it shouldn't do anything, but it may have some impact on the Wi-Fi capability. I'm sure if you connected an Ethernet jack here, you would have some impact on the Wi-Fi capabilities. But if it's not plugged in, if this top part's not plugged into a switch, you know, it's not actually connecting, it's not communicating through that Ethernet, you're probably fine to just use the Wi-Fi. But certainly if you take it apart, then there should be no difference between this and one that was not made for this. It does have a different version of wLED on it because it has to have specific pins called out to use the Ethernet port, but that should not impact the Wi-Fi part of it. And there you go, Quindors. Don't take the top part off if you don't have to, yeah. Okay, let's do a couple of these things. Take care with the exposed pins and don't short them. Gotcha. So a couple more things. I didn't get very far in this. I guess I'm not really set to a time. I lost my list because there was a couple other things. I wanted to do the sync buttons. We got to do the sync buttons still, and we got to do. There's a couple other things, but I definitely want to get to some of this. So we did the playlist editor. We talked about multi-buttons. Segment names, we can just look at that real quick. So when you're in here, now when you're setting up segments, so let's say we're going to add a segment. Oh, this thing says it has 150. It doesn't have 150. Let's do this. We're going to add a segment. Segment 1 is going to be from 0 to 25, let's say. Now we can change the segment name. We can say, like, if it was going to go around the window, right? Okay, go around the window. Great. In here, well, we'll talk about grouping and spacing in just a second. Let's say, well, let's change this again. Let's call this like the north window. Right? So now you know what you always have to hit apply, by the way, or it won't save it. And then we can do another segment, which would be 25 to 50, and we'll edit that. We'll call that the south window. Okay. Dang. There you go. So interesting thing now, that's just kind of a nice thing because, you know, like if you go to my main wLED that runs on the outside of the house, can't remember which one it is. It's like 73. This one. Depending on which one of these, I should have some that have segments on them. Do I not? Yes, I don't. Well, who? Oh, I know which one does. My desk. The desk lights do. Desk. Okay, there we go. So the desk has segments. The segments are right now not named, but because I've updated it now, I can name them. So this one is the part of the desk that is above the keyboard. Okay, save that. This one is actually, this part's under the window. Okay. And then this part over here is the left. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to call it left side. And I'm going to change this one again and call this one right side. So this is kind of nice. I got to say, that is kind of nice. Because now when you want to control them differently, it's pretty easy. Ooh, let's see this. It's pretty easy to know what you're controlling now. Now I know that when this is connected, I can make an effect. Oh, I can't do that because it did them all. I have to do it over here. But now I can make something happen differently just on my keyboard. All right? Or I can make something happen differently just on the left side over there, right? I'm trying to show your thing, Jordan. There it goes. How to add custom CSS. Edit. In the upload. Oh, Jordan, you're amazing. Oh, Jordan, you were helping me yesterday. Thank you, Jordan, for the win. I gotta turn these off. They're driving me nuts. Custom CSS /edit in the upload text. Input CSS. Click create. Paste your CSS. Click save. Reload. Where do we find, Jordan? Where do we find an example? Let's play with that again for just a second. Oh, you figured it out. Lovely flowers. What? All right, let's go back here. We're going to go to /edit. We're going to go to, Jordan says, go /edit. In the upload text. Oh, okay. Skin. CSS. Click create. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it needs to be here. Okay, now I have a skin CSS. Sweet. And now it's blank. Okay, great. Input your skin as click create. Paste your CSS. Click save. Reload wLED. All right, cool. Yes, you can control the segments from Home Assistant. That's right. In fact, I don't know how fast it updates. But we can look at this. Let's not tell Mrs. Z's I'm streaming. She might come in. You want to come say hi?
Sure. Hello. That's right.
Right there. You're good. You're hiding behind me? What are you doing?
Hi. Where's the camera?
Right there.
Hi, everyone. Merry Christmas.
What's going on?
I just got home from a meeting. So, just going to Jackson's folks.
Okay, good. I was pretty sure right here I could. The zookeeper. I want to go in here now and see if my when I look at my desk wLED. Desk LED, yeah, segments 1. So it still is called just segments 1 in here. I don't know if that's going to change or not. Yeah, segments 1, 2, and 3 it still says. But maybe it'll change eventually. I don't know. I don't know if it will or not. Anyways, that's really cool. But you can control them, and they do show up, and so you can control them separately, right? Like this is a separate device, a separate entity here, and I can turn it on and off. Oh, it's actually not turning on and off. I wonder why. Maybe it's because I changed the name. Maybe it's got to take a few minutes and reset itself, figure it out. Yay, Phil gets to be here live in chat. Yay! Try reloading the integration and see if the name changes. They moved things now. I don't know where the integrations are anymore. Integrations. wLED. Dang, I need to rename these. Look at it, I can't tell which what. Yeah, I can't tell which what. That would take too long. I'm not going to mess with that right now. So, anyways, add a new segment with the name right away. That might work. Yeah, probably true. Anyways, if you name them before you integrate it into Home Assistant, then it'll be there. Names in Home Assistant don't like to change. Yeah, I don't think it'll change real quick. If it is all. Probably not on a rename. Maybe if you set the original as that. Yeah, probably true. All right. Let's go back because I want to finish doing these things. And Jordan, thank you for that. We did figure out at least how to make a CSS. Now I have a skins.css file. If there's nothing in it, is that going to impact what happens on the front end? No. Where do I find that index page? Having trouble getting wLED to work with Home Assistant. Any chance you can show a tutorial at some point? I'm using a Dig Uno I just got from you and can't get Home Assistant to see it. Really? So make sure your Home Assistant's up to date. You shouldn't need to have any newer version of wLED. Version 12 is certainly recognized. Make sure they're on the same network. You don't have any kind of funky things with what do you call it? Like subnets and blah blah blah, VLANs, blah blah. And page is in the source in the browser. You can open DevTools. Oh, okay. So if I do this, developer tools. Aha. It's in here. Is that what you're saying? Somewhere? But not here. So it's in here is where I would find it. I don't even know why I want to mess with this. It's just something. It's like this is this part of me that just wants to take things apart. But we probably need to be on the main page though, right? So that's my blank skins index. Is that it? Be there when you are on the page of wLED. Yeah. Check MQC correct in wLED. And you don't even need, Doug, you don't even need to, yeah, it's for smart people, not for me. Amen. I don't have MQTT set in any of my newer wLED controllers, and mine have been showing up in Home Assistant every time I turn it on. Just use the GitHub link. Oh, did you send me a GitHub link? Or you mean a link in the GitHub page? It asks for a host name. Nothing I try works. Man, I wonder why it's not on auto discover. That's so weird, Tom. Very weird. Very weird. Yeah, they're right. They're trying. So I think what Sir Goodenough and Mr. Fixers are trying to tell you, Tom, is about the integrations. Hostname is the IP. Yep. But you shouldn't even need it. Like it really should be. It really should be. It really should just be part of, like this. It should just show up as discovered. These are the two ones that I've got plugged in here on my desk test. It should just show up. I'm trying to think of what other reasons it could have. You have the latest version of Home Assistant and wLED, and they're on the same network. It should auto-discover. It really, really should. All right. Well, this will be fun. Jordan, thank you for being willing to try and help me. I think I'm going to give up on CSS for right now. If it tells you it's already there, it might be disabled. Oh, maybe true. Going back through my list here, I wanted to talk about sync groups because I think this is pretty important. Sync groups is pretty important. In the configuration now, in sync interfaces, we used to have just UDP port. Then we had UDP port, a second UDP port. Now we've got sync groups. Maybe Jordan knows this. Jordan's a super smart wLED user guy. Somebody said something about this being Bluetooth. I don't know if that's true. Is that true? Regardless, we should be able to manage how our controllers respond to each other by setting them to specific sync groups. I'm going to set these two controllers that I have down here to group number 7 and take them out of group number 1. So that's that one. Let's do the same thing over here. Sync interfaces. We're going to take them off of group number 1 and put them on group number 7. Okay, so we don't change the ports at all. No changing of the ports. We're going to make sure this one is set to sync. We're going to set this one to sync. Now, when I turn one of them on, nope. Let's say they should both turn on, but they didn't. Let's see if they change. Nope, they're not changing together either. Let's go back here, make sure that the ports aren't different. 6, 5, 23, 20. Oh, that port was different. Might be part of why. But that shouldn't be. I thought that was kind of the whole point. Yeah, now they're doing it. So if we turn them on and now we set them to the same. Nope. So that's funny. They're turning on and off together, but they're not doing other things together. Oh my goodness. Okay, that one's turning on and off. So sync. All right. We're going to fix this. We are going to solve this thing. Sync, not sink. Okay. I am going to solve this problem. And they're in here. Nope. In. There was something about the sync stuff. Interfaces. I probably should just read this whole thing. 8 sync groups are available. This allows syncing select instances only without changing the UDP port. For example, you might use one sync group per room. Use your wLED devices in. Make sure the sender and receiver you want to sync both have the same group sync ticked. A sender can send to multiple groups, and a receiver can listen to multiple groups. Sync packets received from pre-13.0 instances are treated as if sent in sync group 1 only. When enabled, this is about UDP, CPP. I don't know what that's about. Why then, when I go here, calm the heck down, me. Oh, send, oh, maybe some of these are not checked on it. Yeah, send notifications on direct change, IR, Alexa. Oh, that's another one to do. I don't even know if you need to send it twice, but whatever. We'll enable all that stuff. All right, save that. Save that. Back to the main page. Back to the main page. Son of a gun, when I turn them on and off, it doesn't do the same thing. So when I turn this one on and off, they do. But if I'm on this one and turn it on and off, it doesn't. when I change this, it changes my other stuff on my... Oh my goodness. Now it's not even changing. It's not even changing the lights that I have it connected to. What in the world have I done? I can't, it's not changing it at all. Let's go back here. Let's go security updates and let's just save and reboot for a minute. Maybe I need to save and reboot. This is the part of the show where we teach you how to do things. Ah, boy. Freaking love it. Yeah, reboot. And when in doubt, reboot. Okay, oh, I think that was Sir Good Enough trying to get my attention. I don't know what's happening. Crazy. Okay, the bottom one coming on and off now. Great. Okay, I can at least control the bottom one. If I set it to sync, it's controlling the ones on my desk as well. But it's not controlling the upper ones. Oh, this one hasn't rebooted yet. This one hasn't rebooted yet. We got a problem. Houston. I was trying to make them both send and receive together, but I guess you could set them up, send and receive differently. I wonder why this one's giving me grief. Does this one not have a button on it? Nope, it does not. Let's see if we can... Aha! Okay. Now we are sending and receiving everything. Okay, let's try turning them on. Okay, brightness works. Okay, now the effects are working. They're a little asynchronous. Just a touch. Okay, yay. Now they're working. When in doubt, reboot. It looks like, I wonder if you got a different color palette or something? Colors are a little different. I don't look the same there. Okay, so that's good. Now let's try, what if I'm on this one? Yes. Okay, excellent. They're sort of the same. They're not totally the same. Okay. Looks like some of the other things are different a little bit. Somebody, NWO subscribed. Let's see what we haven't done yet today. We haven't done this one. Boo! Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. How many LEDs you can expect to power from a 5-volt pin? Not very many. Small set of ones. So power from the 5-volt pin, if I remember, guys, is what, like 0.4 amps or something like that? 40 milliamps, half an amp maybe? So you can do, I don't know, maybe 20 LEDs the most, max. That's what I would say. I don't know for sure. Okay, so that's all syncing now. Yay. Beautiful. Interestingly, one of the things that is also syncing is my audio reactive lights up here on my my desk, around the desk. So and it's not set to the same sync group, but it is also on, I think it should be on the beta. Oh, it is on the beta because it's on the audio reactive beta. Not the matrix. Oh man, which one is it? 143. Oh yeah, that's the G audio reactive. So this one, interestingly, seems to be syncing with the other stuff, but it's not on the latest version. It's not even on the same second UDP port. So strange. So strange. So my guess is also, though, like, I bet you if I look at like I bet you like a lot of the lights like outside are probably also doing the same thing. If we look at this, oh, let's see, does that not want to go? Oh, that one's not connected. The main house outside, if we take a peek, yeah, it's doing the same thing. Well, it's doing some of the same thing. That is strange. Okay, so these are not responding to that one, but is that one responding to these? No. Okay, good. Huh. Crazy. Anyways, we got the syncing groups working a little bit. There you go. Joshua says you can run 30 LEDs from a bare 8266 regularly. Just set the efficiency setting in wLED. Awesome. Did I just hack myself? I've been hacking myself bad. There is an option to send 2 packets that sometimes help with missed packets. And so that's in here, right? When you go to sync interfaces. I thought I saw that send 2. Oh yeah, send notification twice. Ooh, let's talk about, for a second, let's talk about this. Alexa notifications. Oops, sorry. Can't see it. So Alexa notifications, and notifications in this context means the command. So it's sending the command to change this, change the effects, change the speed, turn them on, turn them off, that kind of thing. Down here, Alexa voice assistant. When you check this emulate Alexa device, it will create, I think it emulates a hue bulb if I recall, but it will create a light entity that will be recognized by Alexa, and it will have the name, whatever you put in here. So like downstairs we put Christmas tree, you could put, I don't know, I guess we were saying goober lights, right? So if I turn this on, and then, so you have to put in a name, turn on the emulate Alexa device by checking that box, which I think is set as checked by default. Then go to Alexa and say, Alexa, discover new devices. It'll take a bit, and it doesn't always happen the first time, but eventually Alexa should recognize this device. So let's do that. Let's just call it Goober Lights. Let's do this. We're going to save it. All right. And then we're going to say, okay, so she, great. So she's going to discover new devices, and in a minute, hopefully she'll tell us she discovered Goober Lights. That would be ideal. How does it work with hue? I think it just has, there's a fairly simple way to emulate a hue bulb. That's what it does. It emulates a hue bulb. I don't remember. We can look in here and see. What, how do I keep missing the knowledge page? There it is. We can look in here and see what the, Alexa, here's some stuff.
Connected to new devices, including lights. Try saying, turn off Goober lights. To rename the device, tap the name on the screen.
Can you guys hear that? Let's try this again. Turn off Goober Lights. Yes! Perfect! Perfect! Perfect demo! It worked perfectly! You see that? Oh, the sound reactive fork does not include the Alexa code by default. You need to compile your own. That's good to know, Gadget Phil. I did not know that. Yay! She turned them on. I also want to know, let's see, let's try a couple more things here. I'm sorry to have to keep muting this, but set goober lights to blue. So it's playing some effect. So what else can you do? I can do the brightness. I can turn them on and off. I'm using this now on my Alexa, whatever you call this thing, the home thing. What other things can you do? So you can turn the brightness up and down. I don't know about effects. Can you do an effects? Can you do an effect? Let's see. Set goober lights to Halloween. Just see if it'll change the effect. The effect named Halloween. I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work. Does anybody know what else she can do like that? You can only use issue color commands if you have effect set to solid. Oh, okay. It's funny. It did change. It changed this to blue. But now we should be able to change it. So now that I have it set to solid, change goober lights to green. Goober lights are now green, and I am now invisible. Whoa! All right, we should turn that off. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Is that pretty sweet? She gives you a 10-minute lecture on Halloween. Yeah, I kind of thought what I thought was going to happen. Is it safe? Is it secret? Is it safe? Okay, that's cool. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. We're going to do this one more time because it was so good. That was so successful. Let's go back to my deep dive pages. We're going to be going almost 2 hours. I was only going to go an hour today, but now we're going 2 hours. Yeah, you wonder why my mic USB is so loose. I haven't put any hot glue on it today. So sync groups, we played around with a little bit. I think we got it working. I think the step there is reboot. Save and reboot. So whether you do that by powering it down and powering it back on again, the controller itself, or whether you just go into this, in the configuration down here, security and updates, there's a save and reboot button. You need to do that, I think, after you change your sync settings to get it to work right. It wasn't working right before that. So the other thing that I wanted to play with is this web installer thing. So let's play with the web installer thing. All right. We're going to play with the web installer. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to get us all right, I've got here a USB-C to USB cable. I've got here actually this is a ESP32 external antenna. I'm going to plug this into my PC. And this is what AirCookie talked about. This is what AirCookie talked about on the stream for Home Assistant, right? So we're going to go now to the, I'm sorry, I whacked the mic. Install wLED.me, and I think it's actually like V2, I think is what it's called. That's where you're supposed to go? No. What is it? Let's see. There's a separate page. Installer site. Oh, maybe what we need to do is go to the beta page. Oh, here it is. Here it is. New V2 installer. Oh, I had V2 right. I just didn't put v2.htm. Silly me. Silly me. All right. So now we're going to install the beta version. Just bum, bum, bum. So here we go. Install. There is my device, connect. Now it should detect what it is and ask me what to do. I'm going to install wLED. Do you want to install 13 beta 6 on the existing and erase it all from your device? Yes. Notice it does not ask you what type of device it is. It doesn't say, is this ESP32 or is this ESP8266? It does ask you if it has Ethernet, because that's important, but that's all. Okay, so install. Boom, 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 boom. Got to pop out now and get my booster shot. Oh, go have a good time, Shark Tamer. Good times. How do I switch the Dig Quad from Ethernet to wireless? Do I have to reflash it? Not if you already... No, it can use the Wi-Fi even with the Ethernet version. All right, I'm going to feel pretty good about this. I'm glad that we spent some extra time. I know this was a longer stream than what we've been having for the 12 streams of Christmas, but I'm glad we got to it. Right now, the last couple days of Uno orders are waiting for me to get more boxes, waiting for somebody to deliver boxes. But I've got most of them out. Oh, shoot. That reminds me. I wonder if the mailman's going to come. I got to go put those out. Enjoy it, cut. Blah, 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 blah. Keep this page visible to prevent slowdown. Lucky number 7 stream. Happy birthday present for me. Creative, happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. Is there a terminal command list? It is the same commands as the HTTP commands. So T = 0, T = 1, that kind of thing. It's the same. Okay. Installation complete. Now we go to next. Now we can connect it to our Wi-Fi. Sweet, right? Or we can skip this part. I'm going to skip it in this case. But we can connect it to our Wi-Fi. Skip it. Logs and console. Here we can do things like T = 1. And if we had them connected, we could see that. We could also do things like, what was it? Fx = 15, right? So those are the kinds of commands. So those commands that we had back on the wLED request API page, this page. Why isn't it going there? There it is. All of these commands you can put into the console here. Pretty sweet, right? 2 as of Tuesday. Those may have gone out, Gavin. Those may have gone out. I did want to connect some. Why doesn't it let me? Oh, connect to Wi-Fi. Interesting. So maybe I do need to put it in. I wanted to connect to the device. I thought I could connect to the device over the USB, but maybe it needs the Wi-Fi to be able to control it. I thought you could control it with the UI from this, but you can't. You can just do the console commands. Trying to connect. So as we're getting close to wrapping up here, tomorrow is X-Lights and wLED. I'm scared. I am scared. Trying to connect. That's kind of weird that it's not connecting faster. Oh, I know why it's not connecting faster, because this is a external antenna device with no external antenna. First live stream in a while, 4G. How you doing? Learned here about X-Lights Zoom Room from you. Those guys are great. I was having trouble understanding X-Lights. They can help anybody. Been hanging out in the Zoom room. Awesome. I have not, but I should. Actually, until I get my lights actually hooked up. 2 as of yesterday as well. If you ordered yesterday, they're probably not out yet. But they will. I'm trying. Yeah, this is not going to work. Anyways, that was all I wanted to show. I wanted to show the thing about the console, for one. Let's, as a final thing let's do today before we go, is let's get X-Lights. I don't even know how old my X-Lights installation is on this machine. 2015. We're gonna update this. I wonder if I can update it right here. Can I? Help. Check for updates. No update found? How's that possible? How is that possible? There's got to be an update. April of 2020. Come on, you can't tell me there's not been a newer update. Well, there's your problem. I'll be here for X-Lights. Any ETA on quads? The ones that, all the quads that I've had have been shipped. So if you ordered them, they should be on their way. ETA hopefully in the next couple of days. If you haven't ordered them yet, I don't think I'm going to have any new quads for several weeks at least. So, getting the Oculus Quest for Christmas, thanks to my GF. Alex, so we're going to have to do a Oculus Quest 2 like hangout room or something. Won't that be fun? I know there's like anti-Facebook, and I'm not all that big on Facebook or their ways of doing things. But right now, I'm so jazzed up for some sweet VR that I'm willing to give up a little bit of privacy for it. 0.39. So probably what I should do is just download a whole new X-Lights, right? Yeah, this thing's jacked. Oh well. All right, we're done with that. Let's go to X-Lights. Let's download X-Lights. And that's what we'll do. So for those of you who want to follow along tomorrow, this is what you got to do. Go download X-Lights. xlights.org, the light sequencer, the download page. And there's the Zoom room that 4G was talking about. Yeah, so we're on, 21.39. All right, download, save. Will this override my other one, or do I need to? That would be, especially watching a Michigan game. Yeah. Quest 2 live meetup would be cool, wouldn't it, Joshua? All right, everybody, get your Quest 2s out. Get your Quest 2. We'll do a live meetup over Quest 2. That would be so fun. That would be so fun. Neighbor wars are heating up. I need X-Lights next Christmas to put them out of commission. Yeah, Doug, yeah. Nope, broken. Go get it. Okay. It will override it. Okay, good. Good. That was all I didn't want to have to do was like uninstall and somebody blah, 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 blah. Somebody blah, 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 blah. First time catching a live stream. Oop, I have to screen away. Enjoying all the streams. Thank you, David. I am enjoying the streams as well. I am very much enjoying the streams as well. I'm not going to create a desktop. Oh, I just need some more time off so that I can actually hang some pixels. I got so many. Ooh, so I was looking at a thing. Is only Quest 2 HTC Vive. Can I join? I don't know. If there is a way that we can link that way, let's do it. But I don't know if there is. My guess is there's not. One of the updates changed the update and modules. Okay. If I just had some time. What I need is to just stop going to my job. That's what I need. That's what I should do. No more job would mean lots more time, right? And tomorrow is going to be afternoon stream, so probably I think I said 2 in the afternoon because I got to work tonight. So I got about 4 hours from now I got to go into work and saying something about more lights. I need to put up more lights. But first I got to help a neighbor put up his lights, and plus I got to do oh no. Oh, okay. Well, I'll restart the computer later. I'm not going to do that now. Just got to sell Permatrack full time. Yeah, we're close, man. We're close. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. I'll answer any last questions for a couple minutes, and then we'll sign off for today. That was a pretty fun stream. I hope it was helpful with some of the stuff we got into with wLED. Can you run a mega tree of the DigiQuad? Sure. Does it work with X-Lights? Sure. Such a noob. Yeah, it totally does. it's always best if you're running X-Lights with these Unos and Quads if you have the Ethernet instead of Wi-Fi, but it can do either way. You had 0 pixels in Halloween, K20. Now how many do you have? Gajillions? I've got tons of pixels. It's not a pixel problem. It's a time problem. It's a time problem. That's it. So did you guys that watched the State of the Open Home, do you think you'll make corners for the permatrack? I don't think so, Rich. I don't think we will. We may, if we did, it might be like a 3D printed thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't really think we will be making corners because we want you to, I guess it's hard to stock all those kinds of things and make sure that people get the stuff they need. And things may change. I don't know. If you'd asked me a year ago if we'd be where we are now with permatrack, I would have said probably won't be this good or this far along. Thank you, V-Wing. So maybe next year we will, and I can't predict it, but we're trying to keep it simple. We're trying to keep it. I think about I was talking to a contractor who used to build a bunch of houses, right? He had like 10 crews, building a bunch of different houses all at the same time. And it was really hard and it was a lot of work. And he got rid of all that. Shrunk down to just him and a few guys doing one house at a time, makes the same amount of money and is much happier. So cut on a miter, instant corner. Yeah, that's kind of what I would do. I'll be pretty shocked when I find out how easy it is. I am so happy. Give the pixel heads the profile of the track drawing. They can 3D design something for you. All right. How do you do power injection with, I don't know what STP1 is. Do I need multiple strands to each injection point, or can I just tap into the main strand? You can tap into the main strand. So what you're talking about there is what people have started to call, or at least I've heard and latched onto, the difference between running home runs, which would be a separate pair of wires to the strand all the way back to the power supply. That would be a home run. Or you can run one set of wires all the way across and just tap in multiple places and connect your parallel power strip, basically, to your LED strip in multiple places. So you can do either one. But home runs are, probably going to be better. That would be probably best practice. But I'd like to see a tutorial on the Mega Tree with the Dig Quad. Want to do one for next year? Yes. There's one off-topic question about Home Assistant. Oh, let's look at it. I have a glance card with my Life 360. Do you do a horizontal so I can see who's home? Is there a way to resize the height of the card? I want it smaller. Ooh, that's a good question. I'm sure there is a way, but I'm not sure if you can do it by using a glance card necessarily. You may need to use it. You may need to do it using a different card type. Columns, theme, based on state, entities required. Yeah. Code editor. I don't know for sure. You'll have to just look up the Lovelace manual on this and see if a glance card can take the extra information that you would need to set the height. There may be other custom cards. You may be able to do it with like a horizontal card or something. I don't have the best answer for you. I'm really sorry. Alex, did I finish my cube project? No. I wish. When I learned how to power inject work, my house LEDs are now amazing. So bright and less data lost at the end of the line. This what you were using today? Note MCUs I am using a strip of 100. I want to brick the 5090. LED at one color and do it on wLED. Yes, V-Wing, you use segments. You use segments. So you would set, add a segment, and then you would do it based on the first 50 and then the second 90. And I will say that the thing to do, so everything that I was kind of going through today is on this knowledge page. So I put it in the video description, and all the information that you want is there. Just poke around a bit. It's really good. So you're talking about segments. So if we go to features and segments, it will explain all about, we didn't do grouping and spacing, but it's all explained in here. How to set segments, how to count, how the numbers work for being like 0 to whatever and stuff like that. So go there, and the answers to your questions are there for sure. All right. Okay, I think we're going to go. DDP is a protocol X-Lights and some devices are using over E131. It's better for network, however, not perfect. The perfect scenario is multi-sync master remote mode. Hopefully soon the quads will. Okay, there you go. Tech Turtle knows his stuff. Seems like home runs may have limitations that I've yet to hear someone talk about. I think the home runs, the limitation is just the space, maybe. The space in the channel. I don't think you'd end up with more interference or anything, but that's possible, I guess. You may run out of places to connect it. If you're using an Uno, then you don't have extra places to connect. If you're using a quad, you do. Or you could connect straight to the power supply. In that case, it's usually best to put it on fuse, blah, blah, blah. Wire cost, yeah, pain in the butt. It's a greater pain in the butt factor, maybe. And space factor, I mean, you may, depending on what you're using for channel, like if you're using Permatrack, you have a bit of space for wires. If you're using J channel, you run out of space for wires pretty fast. So if you've got like 3 home runs running and you've got J channel, you may, 3 pairs, so 6 additional 18 gauge wires in a J channel might get a little tight because it's already pretty tight with the LEDs in there. So, all right, guys, there's nobody home but Mrs. Z's. She's not going to come up for sign off. She probably would if I asked her, but we won't. We'll just sign off. So, ready? As always, thanks for watching. Till next time, adios. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Tune in 26 hours. We'll be back. All right? Bye. Thanks for being here, fellas. Adios. Needs green name here.